So we're going to get a little bit of a controversy here, and I want you to listen. For a lot of fans of the NHL of the late 70s, early 80s, this guy's name comes up, and they're basically saying he was only good because he played on Gretzky's line. But the statistics prove otherwise, because if B.J. MacDonald got all those points before and after Gretzky, what was the excuse there? They call him the pylon within my group, but that again, that's just unfair. Blair and MacDonald put up significant numbers in the NHL and WHA. I still think he's one of the most unheralded stars of both associations, considering where he came from, ladies and gentlemen, because he wasn't the highest draft pick, and the team who drafted him really didn't want him in a kind of a way, and he found his way into the WHA and was part of some successful teams. So Blair, Neil Joseph, B.J. MacDonald played in the NHL and WHA for more than a decade. Again, he spent most of the time with the Edmonton Oilers and was one of Wayne Gretzky's first line mates at the start of Gretzky's career, and he did quite well. If you look at the old tapes of the games that he played against Toronto, especially a late game, basically he was getting 2 to 4 points a game when Gretzky was on, and you needed someone to feed him the puck, and that's what happened. Now, not the biggest player, born in Cornwall, 5'10", 180, a right winger, was drafted 86 overall by the Kings in 73, and 30th overall by what was then the Alberta Oilers. Now, he became a major recognition with the Cornwall Royals of the Q, and his last season with Cornwall, which was his draft year, he really broke him through. He had 102 points in 64 games, including 63 goals, and an additional 14 goals and 14 assists in 16 playoff games. Now, his first season in Edmonton put up some good rookie numbers, 45 points, and drew recognition in the media, and was very popular with the fans and followers alike. There was always an indication that there was something special about this player, because if you can survive Cornwall can be a very rough team for players and fans, because it has to be a combination of aggression and scoring. Now, he did start the 76 season not on the best, but for some reason he was dealt to the Indy Racers, where he rediscovered his scoring touch and finished the year with 26 goals. In 77, he blossomed into a top player for the Racers, leading the squad with 34 goals and finishing with 64 points. He then added 15 points in 9 games in the playoffs. Now, in his second turn with the Oilers, when he was traded back, he enjoyed another 5 year with 34 goals and 68 points. And just after the start of the 79 season, Edmonton traded for 17-year-old Wayne Gretzky, and as the Oilers' top right winger, natural sniper, MacDonald became one of Gretzky's regular wingers, along with the very underrated Brett Callaghan, and he finished the year with 34 goals and a career-high 71 points. Now, for the 80 season, Edmonton joined the NHL as part of the WHA merger, and MacDonald would have the finest year of his career. Now, riding the playmaking wizardry of Gretzky, he would have finished the season with 94 points, including 46 goals, and he ended up 10th in the league scoring race. He was also selected to represent the Oilers at the All-Star game. Now, with just 6 penalty minutes all season, he finished 4th in the Lady Byng Trophy, the league's most generally player, which was an award ultimately won by Gretzky. Now, MacDonald continued to produce well in 81, but lost his place on the Oilers' top line to the development of talented young players like Mark Messier, Glenn Anderson, and especially the Finnish sensation Jari Kurri, who would then form the most lethal scoring duo in the league with Gretzky for most of the 1980s. At the trade deadline, MacDonald was dealt to the Canucks, where he responded well with 14 points in 12 games, to finish the season with 24 goals and 57 assists in 63 contests between both squads. Despite getting strong point totals in the Canucks lineup, MacDonald would have a tumultuous tenure in Vancouver, where his lack of grit and defensive play failed to endear him to the coaching staff and especially the fans. Now, he scored 18 goals and earned 3 points in 59 games for Canucks in 82, but was briefly assigned to the minors for the first time in his career, and then briefly played in the playoffs as the Canucks reached the Stanley Cup Finals. He would appear in only 17 games for the Canucks in 83, spending most of the season in the minors before being released at the end of the year. Now, after being let go by the Canucks, MacDonald spent 3 more campaigns playing in Austria before retiring in 96. He finished his NHL career with 91 goals and 100 assists for 191 points in 219 NHL games, and added 171 goals and 165 assists for 336 points in 476 games in the WHA. Now, following the conclusion of his playing career, he accepted a head coaching job in Austria and had spent most of his time since coaching in both Europe and North America. In '89, he was named the IHL's Coach of the Year after leading Muskegon to a impressive 57, 18, and 17 record in the league championship. Again, the Austria total, just to mention, 83 games, 87 goals, 79 assists for 166 points and 20 points in the playoffs. And again, just two things. He played with the Frankton Express in 1983, put some great totals, and he endeared himself to a lot of New Brunswick fans. 66 points in 60 games, and also 5 points in 7 playoff games. And he also skated with the Montana Magic, which a podcast on that team is on, can be found on my YouTube channel here. He had 1 goal in 4 games. So very eclectic career, because when he was, like I said, playing with Gretzky, that's an awful thing. You're number one, and all of a sudden Messi, Anderson, or Curry takes your place in the line. I think at the time too, Gretzky might have been double shifting with Messi, and maybe my friend Kendall Giverson can comment on that and update it. I think he was playing the double shifting with Curry, and then with Messi, I think Callaghan, and maybe, trying to think here, Dave Lumley, could be wrong, or even Semenko, because I know Semenko was playing on Gretzky line, like when they were double shifting it. So a very interesting career. Like I said, he's not a joke. He's a real player, because calling him the pylon, basically, where Gretzky was just, scoring, bouncing pucks off him, is not really fair, because he was a talented guy, and like I said, the women liked him. Very handsome guy, One of those Saturday night double feature games where Edmonton played the evening game, and the early Edmonton games in the late 70s, early 80s was quite a treat, because it was something new. All these young players, and sort of similar to the if the Toronto Maple Leafs would have kept all their young players, if you know what I'm saying. So thanks for listening. Keep your stick in the ice. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe, and keep shooting for stars. Bye.